Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on April the 1st, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. All right, so in terms of the news here, we did have consumer confidence numbers that came in higher than expected, and that was good for the US dollar. But overall, not a ton of important high impact data here. So coming up on April the 1st here, all right, so first of all, we have the PMI numbers here. So PMI numbers are leading indicators for retail sales, GDP, all of that. So these numbers are very important because they give us an indication of how the economy may be coming up. So in here, we are expecting these numbers to be lower than expected. And if the numbers come in better than expected, actually better than what this expectation is, more in line with these numbers, that would be good for the euro or vice versa here. And of course, this is the non-farm payroll week. So prior to that, we have the ADP non-farm employment numbers. And here we are expecting a drop in employment here. So a lot more unemployment applications that have gone in. So this number is hugely negative compared to what the previous number was, as a lot of people have been laid off because of all the businesses closing. So if this number is worse than expected, we're likely to see a drop in the US dollar as a result of that. And also we have PMI numbers out of the US. Again, these are expected to be lower than the previous numbers, but same thing here. If they come in higher than expected, then we could see US dollar go up. So let's go on to our charts now. We'll start off by taking a look at our euro dollar. So today we saw that price dropped, but then it pushed up higher. And now we see that price is holding below this 1.1050 level. So there is still some bearishness in this. So what I'm looking for here is potentially a retest of this low at 1.0950. And then we could see price bounce off of this level, or we may just see price come into 1.10 and then bounce off from there. But what this chart is telling us is that we may see a rejection because price is rejecting this level here, or at least 1.0920 level here. So once we get a retest and price does not break below these levels here, we could see a bounce off of that. So watch out for that. I'm neutral on this. There is some bearishness in it, so I'm not completely bullish at this point, but do watch out for a turn in at these levels here. So either at 1.10 or 109.50, or potentially even the bottom here, but overall watch out for that. So bias is neutral for now for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, we see a neutral candle close here. Price dropped, or price went up and dropped, and now we have a neutral candle close. But it is holding above this previous number of 1.2200 here. So a big pin to the downside. At this point, we could see pound go up higher, so I would watch out for that. But it's at an interesting level here. We have seen a drop, a pullback, and now we need to see which direction this wants to go in. So bias is a neutral here. So I would look out to see if price will go and retest this 1.2230 level, or even 1.2300 level, and then we could get a bounce off of this like that, or we could just see that price drops down further. So at this point, not quite clear, not a strong candle for today, so bias is neutral for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar here, this one we saw the price went up, but then it dropped, and again, price is we are right in the middle here, so bias is neutral and slightly to the bearish side here. With Aussie dollar, what I'm looking for is a potential retest here. We could see it go higher into 0.61 0.60 or even 50, and then I will look for a move lower into 0.6020, but it could just turn around at the low of the day. So I would keep an eye on 0.6080 level. If price doesn't go below this, we could see a further move to the upside. So bias is neutral for Aussie dollar as well. And New Zealand dollar here, this one we have seen a drop here. So this one is more bearish than Aussie here. I am looking for price to retest the low here first. 0.5900 will be the first level. And if it doesn't go through, then we could see it bounce off. So we see here that the price has not been able to break this level twice here. Now, if it fails to break this level 3 times in a row, chances are very high that it will go higher. So I would keep an eye on that, but for now, bias is bearish. So once we get a drop through the support level at 0.5900, I'm looking for a further drop into 0.5780. But on the flip side, if it fails to break it, we're likely to get a move higher. So do keep an eye on the bottom here, bottom of today's daily close. Dollar CAD here, this one has been interesting. We saw a huge move to the upside and then price dropped from there. So now we have a big bearish candle close. So I'm looking for price to drop further here. Watch out for a pullback into 1.4150 though. And looking for a move lower here, 1.3920. So bias is bearish for dollar CAD. Let's take a look at the commodities here. Starting off with silver, we were looking for a drop here, so we did see a drop now. Bias is bearish here. However, we see that price has not been able to break the support level yet. So in this case, if price retests the low and does not break through this 13.80 level, we could see a further move to the upside. So I would keep an eye on this 13.80 level, which is really critical at this point. But if it drops through, then we have a lot of room to the downside. So keep an eye on 13.80. So bearish bias, but with caution here for silver. Gold here, a big drop in gold. We had talked about how price had not managed to break through the resistance, which means we were looking for a drop. Big drop here. So next we are looking for a further drop. So bias is bearish. In terms of the pullback, we could get a pullback into 1585 potentially. And then I will look for a further move to the downside. And in this case, our targets here would be 1560 and then 1550 here. So bias is bearish for gold. Oil here, we did see a bit of a drop here, but overall not really much of a movement in the price. So we are seeing that price may be leveling off here. We may be seeing a bottoming of oil price. So again, right now I'm neutral on this. So in this case, I will still keep an eye on the support. If it does not break through this 21 level, we're likely to see the price go back up into this 25.80 level. So bias here is neutral, but overall I'm watching the support and potentially we could get a move towards the top of this range at 25.80. Copper here, we did see a bullish candle close for copper. Now price is into resistance, so that's something to watch out for. Now next target is 2.26. But as we can see, this is where price has turned around 3 times in a row, and it has managed to stay in this range for the last several days here. So what I'm looking for is a retest of the high at 2.20. If it holds below, chances are we are looking for a move back into the bottom of the range into 2.10. So the critical level to watch here would be 2.20. If it doesn't break through, we're looking for a drop here. So for now, bias is neutral for copper. Bitcoin here, not much of a move today, and we see that price is still holding below the 6,600 level, which is our resistance level here. If price holds below this one, I'm looking for a drop back into 5820 and then potentially into 5,500. So bias here is bearish for Bitcoin. All right, our equities now. We had talked about this resistance level yesterday at 2645, sorry. And at this point, we have seen price retest this level 4 times or 4 days in a row and not been able to break the resistance. So chances are we are likely to see a drop. We do have a bearish candle close for the day. So bias is bearish here. And our target is a 2468 level here. And then below that, we're looking at 2400. So bias is bearish for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, we have a pin bar. Price did try to go through here and went right into the next resistance level here. And it has given us a pin bar. So I'm looking for a drop here. First target is 76.35 and then 74.20. So bias is bearish for Nasdaq as well. Dow Jones here, similar to our S&P 500, price has not been able to break the resistance 4 days in a row, which means we are looking for a drop here. Bias is bearish. 21,000 is the first target here. And then below that, we're looking at 20,600. So bearish bias for Dow Jones. And then we have DAX here. Price is still trading in a range here. We see that price went to retest the high, but similar to the other indices here, we see that price wasn't able to break the resistance. So now we have a large pin to the upside, which gives us a bearish bias. So I'm looking for price to drop back down into 94.20. Now, should it get through that, then we're looking at 9,087. So bias is bearish for DAX here. And then we have FTSE. In this one, we do see that price tried to retest the high here, but it failed. It closed lower, which means our bias is to the downside, big rejection here. So I'm looking for price to drop. Target is 53.70 here. And then should it go through that, we're looking at 52.30. So bearish bias for FTSE. Last but not least here, we have Nekkei. Same thing for Nekkei as well. Price was not able to break this resistance. We have a bearish candle close, so looking for a further drop here. First target here is 18,000, and should it go through that, then we're looking at 17,500. So bias is bearish here for Nikkei as well. So that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.